eventually her belief transferred from the industry into ASEA. So Debbie, will you share with us your story of getting started at ASEA?
It started in 2010, and I was in a bad financial place at the time, and I had started looking for health solutions at the cellular level years ago, because my dad had been an engineer with Standard Oil, and he got multiple myeloma from working with petroleum oil. And I saw what chemo and radiation did to him. So I went on a quest to find things, and it led me to one company, and I made many good friends in that company, but the company fell out of integrity. And when Cindy Buck called me about ASEA, I had been on my knees praying the night before for something that could help people and would turn me around financially. And before I got out of bed the next morning, the phone call came in. So I knew this was something I needed to look at. And I did have a math science background, so when she sent me the video that showed me redox molecules, where they're made and what they did, I was stunned, just thinking, if this is true, this has got to be huge. And my first thought was to get it to a molecular biologist who happened to be a very good friend of mine. She graduated from Johns Hopkins, and she had gotten a job at the National Institutes of Health as a researcher in the mental division. And I drove to her house that night, and I said, have you ever heard of this? And she took a look at it, and then at me, and then it again, and literally almost fell off her chair. She just said, Debbie, I have been studying these molecules for 17 years. This was the first person I took it to. And she said, we've had scientists from around the world come to NIH to try to do this. You're telling me somebody was finally able to make and stabilize these molecules outside the human body in a bioactive form? And when I said, yes, thinking, no big deal, she said, you have no idea how massive this is. This is going to change the medical field as you know it. Those were her words. And she went on to take this big, thick textbook down and start teaching me all about redox and how it goes through the blood-brain barrier, and she named all the mental problems that people have. I won't hear for compliance, but that it would help not only everything damaged cell in the body, but it would help all the mental stuff too. And I just stood there getting chills down the back of my neck and thinking, holy cow, how did I find out about this extraordinary product? I already had a belief in the industry. Then I luckily knew pilots at the time, and I got a buddy pass to the first convention, the launch of the product. And when I heard the scientist and Vertus tell the story of how this got started, I knew I was also in the right company. And I'll never forget him standing on stage and telling the whole story, the Genesis story, you've all heard it, and then standing there and saying, and now I need your help. Because if you don't go home and tell everyone you love and know about, the world will never get to know what this product and industry is. And he said, will you help us? And I know everyone in that audience that day was in tears, and we all stood up and said, of course, Vertus, we will help you. So that's how I got started.